89.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we're back. It's Football Frenzy here. We have live games in the English Premier League. Games are already kicked off out there. It's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0, 1 minute played. Chelsea are playing from right to left of our screens. Liverpool from left to right in their traditional home attire. Both teams, there's no clash of colors, so the colors are very, very distinguishable. Red for Liverpool, blue for Chelsea. So no clashes there. For Arsenal, also the red tops and white trunks, and Burnley in their away blue. They cannot play in their claret colors because, well, it's very, very close to red. So that's how both teams square up. It's a full stadium at the Emirates. From observation here, there are no empty seats, as we can see. And well, a lot of reddishness kind of in the stands. Everybody, I'm guessing they came to honor Arsene Wenger with the way they have set themselves up. So Arsenal are playing from right to left, and Burnley from left to right. And almost a goal-scoring chance here for Liverpool. It was Roberto Firmino with that strike from the right-hand side there after 2 minutes. So save there from Thibaut Courtois. Almost the first strike, and just like Bonarwa said, it will be quite hard for this Liverpool side not to get at least a goal here. So it's a case of how many will Chelsea also be able to score. And the problem and the question, I just want to ask is that back in the day, it used to be about Chelsea. Chelsea's defense used to be a problem. That used to be Chelsea's strength, your inability to score them, and you only win championships with your defense, with the strength of your defense, your ability to keep goals from coming in at your side and you scoring them on the other side. But this season, that surely hasn't been the case for Chelsea.
It hasn't been. I think that has been one aspect of the game that has cost them a lot this season in terms of shipping in goals, even from the teams that you least expect them to do. I mean, you look at that defensive lineup, where you have the three-man defense. Yes, the key figure there, the constant figure of people has always been Marcos Alonso, where you have him doing things well, but it's always a problem for you to see who is going to be on the other side. So a couple of occasions we've seen Victor Moses, we've seen, and later on we've also saw Zappa Costa, and we saw some guys who are actually coming into that team. But again, they've not done the job that I expected of them. So Chelsea, as you said, used to be very solid defensively in those days, but now it appears that defense is free for all, and it is not something that even starts from the defense. You look at, the guys who are supposed to be shielding them, they are not doing the job. That's talking about those guys in the midfield, especially the defensive midfield area, where I think yes, N'Golo Kante, as much as he puts a lot of energy, he does a lot when he goes forward. But I think defensively this season, he has not really caught it for me. Maybe it's just a reflection of how the team has played all through the season, not really giving it all. I mean, not that level of inconsistent that has blighted them is something that is worrisome and that needs to be addressed as we go into next season. So if it is not addressed, but I tell you that this thing will come back and it will keep haunting Chelsea and that season all through from next year. It's something that Antonio Conte, if he remains in charge, yes, we've not heard anything about him leaving though, but I do think you get that strong feeling that Antonio Conte might well be leaving Chelsea at the end of this year. If he remains or whoever is coming in, they need to address that issue as soon as possible.
All right, 5 minutes gone in both centres. We are tracking in the English Premier League, and still no goals, but we've recorded a shot on target and a save in the Chelsea-Liverpool game, and it's that piece of action we spoke about earlier involving Roberto Firmino. So one shot on target for Liverpool and one goal kick there for Chelsea, and that's been the story. And well, here's Liverpool attacking from that left-hand side. James Milner goes to the back to find well, they're just knocking the ball about themselves. Jorginho Wijnaldum also involved in that one. Dejan Lovren to Mane, Sadio Mane. He's got Victor Moses to beat, and no foul, says the referee, says Fabregas. They have placed the ball forward, but it only goes as far as a Liverpool player. The Liverpool players seem to be encamped here in Chelsea's half. It makes you want to ask who the away team is and who the home side are. Robertson with the ball there. Sadio Mane on that left-hand side. And Victor Moses doing defensive work there, even as a fullback. They go all the way back to goalkeeper Karius. Is a little bit on the edge of his penalty area. Dejan Lovren, Virgil van Dijk. Just knocking the ball about them in their half there. Liverpool after 6 minutes.
Well, it's an unexpected start from Liverpool. They've been very buzzy in the first 7 minutes, already creating a chance to score. And I like the way they've set themselves out today, allowing Alexander-Arnold to be the marauding fullback. Nathaniel Klein will be the right back sitting behind or staying back for the Liverpool side. And like you said, it's almost like Liverpool are the home side. Chelsea struggling to settle in here, and Liverpool have done what they've done all season, especially against the best in Europe, in England as well, where they've defeated the champions 3 times already this season, once in the league and twice in the Champions League. I don't know if I should consider Liverpool as favourites for this match when you look at what Chelsea have done this year and what Liverpool have done. Liverpool are playing in the in the final of the Champions League, so I expect them to give it a good show and a good shout of winning it for the 4th time since 2007. So it's a steady start from Liverpool, and you know when they are in this mood, they are always capable of scoring not 1 goal but 2 goals as long as they have the momentum.
Well, some good movement from Chelsea, almost breaking free, but Olivier Giroud seems to be in pain in that move that almost was a counter-attack. Eden Hazard was involved, caught it back to Olivier Giroud, but some kicking on the shins and ankles were called for a foul, and the play had to be stopped. But now back on, Marcos Alonso will turn and find Eden Hazard, who turns around this player. Alonso opens up for him, but he delays the pass, the Belgian, and now finds Marcos Alonso, who seems to have played himself into a bit of a pickle. Finds now N'Golo Kante, and he looked to have centered the ball there, but it was a bad pass. And here comes Liverpool. It's a 3-on-1 situation. Mo Salah was the intended target, but that was a very, very poor pass there. And Chelsea can now look to attack. Eden Hazard cuts on the right-hand side. That should be a foul. And yes,
I'll be surprised if captain on the day, James Milner, doesn't get the yellow from the referee, Anthony Taylor, from that challenge. Maybe he's going to let him go away with that one. It's just his first offense of the game, but that was a bad tackle on Eden Hazard,
very, very heavy
who is still on the pitch. I think it will continue, but that's a heavy challenge from James Milner. Lucky that he's only getting the talking to from the referee. The next time, I'm not sure he will find himself so lucky with challenges like that.
Right. I mean, well, Arsenal are still trying to break this Burnley side, playing very calmly. It's been all Arsenal since the first half. Long ball to that left-hand side. Kolasinac tries to play one into the area. They get a corner kick for all their efforts, Arsenal, after about 7 minutes. Just to also let you know that we are doing this in conjunction with our friends, the partners, the BBC. At some point, hopefully, maybe we will just let them in to have a word or two sometime in the game. 10 minutes gone. It's still Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0 at Stamford Bridge.
That's weird. When you say Stamford Bridge, I just realized now that Chelsea are actually playing at home. But meanwhile, contrastly, I think Liverpool, they appear to be too comfortable. We are getting forward. They look comfortable, and defensively, they've had nothing to do. I mean, in the last 10 minutes, the game started, and I think that's something that Chelsea are going to contend with all through this game. I mean, we've seen Liverpool in Europe this season, as Bola said, and also against City and some top sides in the PL. Their ultra-attacking strike is always difficult to defend again, and that was the biggest problem for me, the challenge for me, as Chelsea tend to keep this one. It will be difficult. It will take something extra for Chelsea to win this game or even stop Liverpool from scoring them.
I mean, the funny thing is that Liverpool have just one way of playing football, but you don't know how to stop them. That's the problem. they play in the same way week in, week out, whether it's the Champions League or the FA Cup. It's just that style. But can you stop them? We haven't seen so many teams do that. Always efficient under Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool side, especially as well when they have Mane, Firmino and Salah starting. The last thing you want to do against Liverpool is to lose the ball in your half. If you do that, too many options going forward. You could go to Salah, you could go to Mane, you could go to Firmino, and it's all down to what the midfielders can do for the Liverpool side. They've been a better side so far, and you'd expect them to score at any time. But Chelsea could have a chance themselves, even though this is a game where mistakes will not be allowed to happen. You will almost be punished with the quality we have on the pitch today.
And defensively, I think defensively both teams they have similar records in terms of conceding goals. I mean, both teams struggle defensively. You've seen Liverpool this season, yes. As much as they score plenty of goals going forward, they're also letting a lot defensively. Same as Chelsea, but it will be interesting to see how Chelsea will take them off guard as they are dominating right now.
Nathaniel Klein with the ball tries to find James Milner on that right-hand side, but he's been dispossessed, and Chelsea can now look to move forward. Here's Cahill, finds Fabregas, who had Victor Moses in support, but decided to go forward to Eden Hazard. Perhaps a bit too ambitious. He's been dispossessed now. Liverpool can now look to go forward. Virgil van Dijk gets the ball and trying to leave their own half and advance forward here. Liverpool almost crossing that halfway line. Here's Nathaniel Klein, picks up the ball, it goes back to his centre half. And they cross that halfway line, looking to put the ball forward. Perhaps they forced it a little bit. Here's Chelsea, and a Chelsea player looks to be in trouble, and it's Olivier Giroud. It was that knock he took at some point. And this will be huge for Chelsea if they have to replace Olivier Giroud, because there's no Morata on the bench. He's injured coming into this game, so he's not even listed as a substitute in this game, and it will be huge for Chelsea to lose Olivier Giroud in this game.
Well, they have option as well. They have an option, at least somebody that can actually play as a false nine. He did it so well when he was at Barcelona. Pedro is that man. It's all about the tactics. We've seen teams play without a natural nine or natural striker, and they go on to win.
Well, there's a chance here for Chelsea. Olivier Giroud, can he strike? But it was a hit body of red shirts. Meanwhile, Arsenal are 1 goal up, but here comes Liverpool pushing for Sadio Mane. It's a fast break, and well, that was played just behind Mane, but the chance is still there in the box on the left-hand side of attack. What can he do? He comes back, and the cross is atrocious there. Olivier Giroud, well, he's having a word with his teammates, and well, he seems to be indicating that there's a lack of communication. Nobody is talking to him. He perhaps would have wished that somebody said something there leading up to that intended strike. There was Victor Moses who pulled the ball back. He went past Cesc Fabregas, and well, Bakayoko was looking to strike it. Olivier Giroud plucked it out from just in front of him, and then and I think that's what he was talking about, that you should have said something. Tell me, I don't have eyes behind my head.
I was about to say this.
Let me know you are behind me, so I'll let it go.
In local parlance, I would have said allow.
Yeah.
Because you need to let the man facing the post have the advantage, because he knows where the post is. But you were back in the post. You don't even know. But like Bimbo said, at least communication would have helped, and Giroud would have left that one for Bakayoko to at least put the shot away. But they couldn't communicate, and that opportunity went away for the side. And just like you said, Arsenal are ahead in the other game at the Emirates. It's 15 minutes on the clock, and Arsenal have scored courtesy of Aubameyang. The person who assisted was Lacazette. The two guys combining well.
Well, here trouble for Liverpool, pushing forward, been dispossessed there on that left-hand side, right-hand side of attack. It was Nathaniel Klein. Here's Eden Hazard. Alonso can strike from there, but it was straight at Karius. Good strike there from Chelsea. And now they seem to be knocking on the door and asking questions.
Yeah, they need to do that, but I think I like the response. Look at that attack of coming from Chelsea right hand side, taking Liverpool off the guard. That's what you need to do. Take them off the going through the channels, and you take it back to the center. But that was too lame for Marcos Alonso. I think he should be going for the angle rather than going direct. That was too direct.
Well, I guess it was just an anyway Belefice kind of thing. Just hit it. At this point, you never know. They say you don't win the lottery if you don't buy the ticket. So that was him, just paying for a ticket and hoping that something will happen. And it was a good attempt. Yeah, we all know Marcos Alonso's antecedents and his prowess with dead ball situations and his ability to hit shots. So from that sort of range, you were hoping for better. But, well, it still counts as a shot on target. And, well, now Liverpool will know that Chelsea can also hit them, and they need to be more careful. 16 minutes gone out here. It's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0, and this game is going down at Stamford Bridge. Just to quickly let you know what's happening out there in the La Liga, Atletico Madrid are losing at home for the first time in a long time. They have not conceded at home in so many games, matches. And right now it seems that is going bottoms up out there in the La Liga. Well, that was a fantastic pass, threaded through. It was almost going to get through, but well, all the bodies out there.
And Liverpool can now attack.
Stopped that one.
Yeah, Liverpool always threatening on the counter, but you have to say well defended by N'Golo Kante, who was having that man running towards goal, Sadio Mane. So he managed somehow to stop that one, but from resulting in a goal for Liverpool. Fantastic defensive effort from the French international. This one is setting up pretty nicely. But the way the game is being played, the momentum, and where the first goal could come, it's still about Liverpool. Chelsea on the back foot. But they've also shown promises whenever they get the chance to attack.
Well, we can now say it's now 2 goals for Espanyol and, well, Atletico Madrid. Well, all of that is gone belly up now for them. They're now losing by 2 goals. 70 minutes gone in the game. 20 minutes left to play in that particular.
77.
76. Well, my time is wrong here. So it's 76 minutes. They're Espanyol 2 goals up against Atletico Madrid.
Football is funny. Football is funny.
Look at
that game against Arsenal. They hadn't considered a goal in 11 matches at the Wanda Metropolitano. They hadn't considered in 11 matches at home. Arsenal's game made it 12, and today against a team you would expect Atletico to beat, they are actually losing. Not only conceding 1 goal, they've conceded twice, and it's almost looking like another loss for them at home. You don't get to hear or see that often, but that's the situation that Atletico have found themselves in today's match. Maybe Arsenal could have done better in that game. The records are always there to be broken. Of course, you have to look at the start and the team that has the advantage when it comes to conceding and scoring. It was all against Arsenal on the night, but Espanyol have come here and they've done what Arsenal couldn't do. It's a surprise result if they can pull it off.
Right, 19 minutes gone. It's still Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. Throw in to Chelsea. James Milner also seems to be hobbling. But, well, we know this Liverpool side. They've got options for Milner, who is in his 30s right now. And he's still favoured by Jurgen Klopp. Says a lot about his abilities in this game. You look at the bench for Liverpool. They've got Moreno in there who can come in. Solanke also. Can Danny Ings, even if he comes in, maybe one of the 3 men in front can pull back a bit. So Jordan Henderson is also available. So James Milner.
Not too many options going forward for Liverpool, you say.
Yeah.
I think this is their best. This is the best they can put out today. Jurgen Klopp's at Liverpool. But you have to be confident and you have to trust these players with what they've done this year, especially Mo Salah, who has also been nominated for the Premier League Player of the Season or the year, as the case may be. Mo Salah alongside David De Gea, Kevin De Bruyne, to mention a few. But the favorite, of course, has to be Mo Salah, who has already won the PFA Player of the Year and the Football Writers Association Player of the Year.
Well, and talking about Mo Salah, that's a chance for him. And there was Nathaniel Klein who tried to put that one in for Sadio Mane. But, well, it's a sliced kick. Sends that one over the crossbar. Dejan Lovren started that move from deep within his half. Mo Salah knows how to keep that line tick and just keep himself from straying offside. Nathaniel Klein tried to put the ball in. And what was Thibaut Courtois doing there? Dealing and dallying, and you can see the cameras zoom into him. A tight shot there, asking questions all over the place. Dejan Lovren picks it up now, deep in his half. Virgil van Dijk he finds just beside him. Goes towards Robertson on the left-hand side. Back to Van Dijk. And they're just happy to knock the ball about themselves. Liverpool. Good movement there. Firmino finds Sadio Mane.
Bobby Firmino.
With two players round about him. And yes, the referee's whistle goes. Cesar Azpilicueta, the man to have committed the foul on that occasion. But Liverpool start off quickly. No foul there.
This time he calls it.
Well, he calls
Anthony
it
Taylor.
once again. Rudiger. I'm not so sure about that foul. It didn't look like a foul to me.
Well,
Mr.
I think it was upended. I think there was yes.
Yeah.
He waited for him.
Yeah.
That was a foul. I think Salah just went through him. Well, nice pass again from Sadio Mane. He held himself up against Firmino, but the referee called down initially against Azpilicueta. But that was a good call from Anthony Taylor.
Well, they've got a free kick here in a dangerous position. Just have to float it in. The likes of Dejan Lovren and Virgil van Dijk up to the task. But then Chelsea also have some big men in defense. It's floated in and is well dealt with. Victor Moses with the clearance and sends the ball all the way back into Chelsea's half. This has been picked up. And it's James Milner who goes all the way back. It's the deepest man now for Liverpool. He sends it towards his left-hand side. You can see Virgil van Dijk jogging back to position in that centre-half position. Robertson back to Van Dijk. And Dejan Lovren, the back four is complete. Everybody accounted for. Here's Nathaniel Klein. Long ball forward, looking to find Mo Salah, it will seem. And Chelsea can clear their lines here. Dealt with that one well. And here's Chelsea.
Well,
still in no man's land here. Liverpool with the chance. I'm looking. He's going to strike from there. And what a save there from Thibaut Courtois. That was a huge strike there from Sadio Mane. But an equally up to task save there from Thibaut Courtois. Look at that strike.
No, straight at the goalkeeper. Wow. I'm sure Thibaut Courtois had that one covered. The shot was ferocious. By the end of the day,
turning away from him.
But
maybe
it's a good height for the goalkeeper. It's a good height,
and it might have turned away.
It's a good height for the goalkeeper, so it's a comfortable save for me. It looked like a good shot, but the goalkeeper always had it covered.
First corner kick of the day, and it comes straight there. And Thibaut Courtois had to come off his line to make that save. There was a player lurking there, and it was in no man's land. It would have been a very easy. Will have been an easy goal for Virgil van Dijk, but good hands there from Thibaut Courtois, and he makes the save.
Poor defending Bimbo, poor defending lineup for by Chelsea. How did they lose? How did they miss Virgil van Dijk right there? Because if not for that touch for Thibaut Courtois, it would have been the easiest of header for Virgil van Dijk. It
would have been an empty goal. The goal was just waiting for him.
You just have comfortably guided the ball into the net.
The slightest of touches, the slightest of deflections, and that could have been the opening goal. After 24 minutes, it's still goalless here at Stamford Bridge. Long ball forward to find Mo Salah. Nathaniel Klein is waiting for the return pass. And, Mo Salah tried to heal that one back, but really got caught on quick. So it's a throw-in to Liverpool deep in Chelsea's half on the right-hand side. Klein makes the touch. And the clearance comes. Alonso gets the touch. Eden Hazard with the movement there. Olivier Giroud running right at him. Ball to Eden Hazard. Throw in. And Milner is still hobbling. Any point from now, I'm guessing the change will be made. Well, he hasn't complained. Throw in has been taken. Karius with a clearance upfield. Goes all the way back to to Azpilicueta. Victor Moses back to Azpilicueta. One Chelsea fans. like to call Dave. Long ball forward to no one in particular. The header, heavy from Cahill. Clearance from Victor Moses. Olivier Giroud from an offside position. Strays back, and we can see Jordan Henderson jogging there, warming up. I'm guessing it's for James Milner, who's been hobbling. So anytime from now, the change will be made. And there's Milner with the ball. Goes to the right-hand side, finds Dejan Lovren to Nathaniel Klein on that right-hand side. Goes all the way back to goalkeeper Karius. Van Dijk is waiting for the return pass. It's now been closed down by blue shirts, so he sends it upfield. The header has come. Mo Salah is chasing. Rudiger has played himself into a bit of a pickle there, but it clears eventually for a throw-in.
Well, let's quickly remind our listeners that you can still watch us live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. You get to watch us as we also run commentaries in partnership with the BBC right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. So go to the YouTube page, Nigeria Info, and you can find us, with our beautiful attires. I'm wearing a Stationery Stores jersey, and the Bimbo and Soli are both wearing the Femi and the Gang shirts. Okay. Solio is wearing the Femi and the Gang t-shirt, and Bimbo is wearing the Arsenal jersey. They look alike. I almost thought they were wearing the same. So that's what it is as we speak. Stationery Stores is mine. Solio has the Femi and the Gang t-shirt, and Bimbo is wearing the Arsenal jersey. You can also drop your comments on YouTube in the comment section. We'll be happy to hear what you have to say of the game and what we've done so far on the show. Always a pleasure to have you join us live on YouTube. So keep joining in, and let's know how many we have. Let us know ourselves. Arsenal are still where they were. They are still looking pretty confident to end on a high for Arsene Wenger at home. They still lead by 1-0 after 27 minutes. The goal scorer, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the Gabonese international.
Right, 27 minutes gone. Here is Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0 at Stamford Bridge. Right there in Spain, it's still 2-0 in favor of Espanyol. We are 86 minutes gone in that game. No way back for Atletico, if you ask me. And Arsenal are still 1 goal up at the Emirates in Arsene Wenger's final home game out there. Guard of honor, he received huge things. Thibaut Courtois gets the ball. Willie clears lines on time. He makes the pass to Gary Cahill. Very dangerous play there from Chelsea. The clearance comes eventually, but only as far as a Liverpool player, and a back pass there for Liverpool to Van Dijk. Goes to the goalkeeper, Loris Karius. Nathaniel Klein sends it back to Mr. Karius.
One player that has really impressed me so far this season is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Nathaniel Klein is supposed to be the #1 right back, but he got injured, and Alexander-Arnold has done so well after his debut last year. I remember his debut was against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Memorable debut for him, and he's gone on to do so well.
Well, there's a chance here for Liverpool. No foul, nothing, and Klein clears that line. Was Chelsea moving forward there? That should be a foul.
He's going to get a yellow now.
Rudiger needs to be calm. He needs to keep a clear head.
He's going to get a
yellow
soon.
He came all the way from his line to commit that foul
and it was
in
Liverpool.
It was a needless foul to make there. Dejan Lovren finds James Milner on that right-hand side. Comes way up the pitch. Looking for Firmino there.
Yeah,
dispossessed.
Bobby Firmino.
Ball goes back to Victor Moses on that right-hand side for Chelsea. He's been involved in so more defensive duty than he has in attacking ones. They're talking about Victor Moses, and here's a good movement here from Liverpool. Sadio Mane is the trident for Liverpool, and what a save there. It was Sadio Mane. Return pass, and Mane can finish it up. No, it goes straight to Thibaut Courtois.
Twice.
And you can see the disappointment as he holds his head on the ground here. Good movement. This is where you do not want Liverpool to be.
Definitely.
When you're playing against them, when they come at you in a counter-attack. Good movement there.
Well, Bimbo, this is where Liverpool are very dangerous. When you give them that opportunity, especially from your half, you know you can be punished. Double chances for Sadio Mane. Couldn't make it count eventually.
Well, it's now Chelsea with a chance of their own as they come breaking. And there was almost a chance there for Chelsea. And it was Timo Bakayoko. Almost an instant response there from Chelsea. And perhaps you would have wanted an Olivier Giroud to be behind that one this time.
That's a goal. If it was Giroud, it's clearly going to be a goal for Chelsea. But you can see the end-to-end stuff for Bimbo. For Mane, who had a chance, forced to save from Thibaut Courtois, got another chance. Not clear at goal, but still managed to get the toe poke. But the goalkeeper making yet another save. And almost at the other end, Chelsea nearly get the first goal of the match. It's setting up pretty well after 32 minutes. We're yet to see a goal, but it's actually lively. And there's a possibility or there's a potential of getting a goal in this game. And like I said, it's hard to see Liverpool not scoring in this game. Whether Chelsea will score, we'll have to wait and find out.
But I like what Chelsea are doing now, Bimbo, which is that trying to turn defense to attack quickly, and they are doing that really good. Because against Liverpool, yes, counter-attacking is going to be difficult for you to defend against them. But when they defend and they're able to go forward to actually be very effective, that's kudos to Chelsea.
Well, it's Chelsea!
Giroud!
Olivier Giroud gets the goal! And what a fantastic header! Set up from the right-hand side of attack. And what a chance! And you can see him going into the stairs. And then David Luiz. Whoa, what a goal! Well, almost out of nothing he came there. And it's the man, who likes to come good in those aerial challenges. Well, I said it earlier. That chance that fell to Bakayoko, you would have wanted an Olivier Giroud on the back of that one. And the way he scores these headers almost out of nothing with the slightest of touches. Look at that one.
Well, Bimbo, let me start from the person who made it happen, Victor Moses. Most times you won't see Victor Moses decided to cross with his left, and that was where he actually deceived Andrew Robertson, the Liverpool left back. Twisted and turned, sent the cross in, and the only man you want to get at the end of that cross was Olivier Giroud, and he didn't disappoint. A brilliant header and puts Chelsea ahead. Chelsea second best, but it doesn't matter in football matches. Even when you're not with the momentum or doing well than the opposition, you just have to find a way to get the goal, and that's what Chelsea have done in this match after 33 minutes. And it's also good to see Giroud go, run straight to the bench to embrace David Luiz, who is not even on the Chelsea bench today, and this one is already sparking to life. It's Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0, 34 minutes on the clock.
Well, interesting piece of stuff we are seeing here. It's been all Liverpool just before that goal. And, Thibaut Courtois has had to be called into, defensive and goal-keeping duties, once again plucking one out of the air. Just a quick look at what the statistics in this game so far has been after 33 minutes. It's Liverpool with 4 shots on target and Chelsea with just 1 prior to this goal. So now they have 2 shots on target if you add this goal to it. Possession has been 69% to 31. I don't need to tell you who has all 69% of the possession. It's Liverpool. They have been the more attacking team in this particular fixture, but that goal has really brought this one to life now. 34 minutes and counting at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0.
And you can see the way they are standing now. The live standing, which if it's end this way, Chelsea will be on 69 points, just 2 points behind Tottenham Hotspur, who are on 71 points in 4th position. And what that means now, the next 2 games for the 2 teams are going to be very crucial. So they need to take it, and I think they understand the enormity of this lead. So for them to need to keep it tight. But again, you look at the build-up to that goal. Beautiful, classy. The long pass coming from the midfield. I don't know who gave that pass to Victor Moses, but Victor Moses again doing the uncharacteristic of him, beautiful crossing for Olivier.
And there's another chance there for Chelsea!
Almost a second.
Just goes right across the face of goal. Fabregas there. What that pass, that defense splitting pass there. Look at Fabregas. Finds himself in space there. And look at that. The angle was tight. All it needed was the slightest of touches. Victor Moses was there, but it couldn't. It was actually Timo Bakayoko was the farthest man upfield.
That's surprising. I mean,
yeah.
Where is the striker who's supposed to be? I mean, a fox in the box right there. I mean, you need to get at the end of that one. That was a good crossing. I mean, coming from that, and it looks as though Bimbo that Chelsea they found a place to eat Liverpool, which is the left side of their defense. Andrew Robinson seems not to be doing a good job right there. And it seems that's the place for Chelsea to eat. They are eating hard at that side, and it seems to be working for them right now.
Well, Chelsea are playing some good football now after a slow start, and they are now the side looking to score, likeliest to score in this game after 37 minutes. And the last time Fabregas had a good chance, but I think it was caught between two minds, whether to go for goal or cross. So it was in between. Just like you've said, if there was a fox in the box, that's a second for Chelsea.
There's another chance for them. It's Bakayoko, goes all the way to the left-hand side, finds Eden Hazard. That pass was a bit too heavy for the Belgian from the Frenchman. Is now swarmed by three red shirts. He gets past them with that pass. And, well, Fabregas is angry and livid. Was expecting a run from Olivier Giroud. It was a good pass in between so many red shirts. It would have been a defense-splitting pass. Fabregas.
It's the best at it, Giroud. I mean, looking at the goal again from Olivier Giroud, the French forward. He did it so many times when he was at Marseille, came to Arsenal, did it so many times, and now he's at Chelsea, still doing it. This man, Olivier Giroud, and it's a beauty to watch. From the cross that was too good from Victor Moses. Even when the cross is going in there, you need a trusted person to get to the end of it, and it was Giroud. Who did so well. Pardon me, he moved from Montpellier years back to Arsenal, not Marseille. And it was impressive, actually, when he was at Montpellier, scoring goals, especially with his left boot. And looking at the process and what he's done, the progress, I have to say he's been on the high. He didn't want to leave London, consider Chelsea, and Chelsea are already having the best of Olivier Giroud. I mean, most Chelsea fans have already come out to say, no matter what, I prefer Giroud to start ahead of Morata. Fair to Morata, he started life at Chelsea very well. But after injuries and some setbacks, he can't even replicate his beautiful form at the start of the season. Like I said, he said so many things about life in London, how he's been playing with injuries, go to Italy, get injections, come back to train and to play. He said he should have rested it out, and that's why we've seen some poor play, poor display from that man called Alvaro Morata. I even talked about refereeing in England that hasn't been too good. Mo Salah has found himself in the referee's book. I almost thought that was a free kick, but the referee saw it as a dive, and Salah didn't even complain. And he has to manage the small yellow card from the referee. He should be happy it's not even a red. It can't be a red. It's a yellow card offense.
Well, it's ended out there in Spain. So Espanyol has taken the scalp out of Atletico Madrid. So 2 goals unanswered there. Not only did they lose, they conceded for the first time in so many matches. So it ended 2-0 Estadio Wanda Metropolitano. That one going down. Back in the English Premier League, it's 38 minutes gone. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0 at Stamford Bridge.
And at the Emirates, it's a similar score. It's Arsenal who lead by 1-0 against Burnley. Goal scorer Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Fantastic work done by Lacazette. Aubameyang was the fox in the box, and he made it count for the Arsenal side. Another yellow card has been issued by the referee, Anthony Taylor, this time to Liverpool's Nathaniel Klein. Went in hard on Marcos Alonso. The referee was never going to let that one slide, and it's a yellow too already for the Liverpool team.
Right, well, free kick will be taken from the left-hand side of their attack, and well, surely this, well, it's Fabregas standing over it. I thought it would be taken by Marcos Alonso, the man who was fouled left-footed. You'll have preferred a left-footed player to take this one. Fabregas goes up in the air, but Karius
Rudiger
does his work. Foul there on the goalkeeper from referee Anthony Taylor. Rudiger was the farthest man of pitch, so you can understand why he felt he had to disturb the referee, because a long ball, if that had been taken quickly, he would have been caught off his position, and Chelsea could have hit them really, really hard. We're in the final 5 minutes of the first half here. 40 minutes played at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Chelsea fans will really want the game to end this way. Puts them just 2 points
Sniffing
behind
top 4.
Tottenham, and
but they both have the same number of games left, and
Yeah.
they both play on Wednesday night. So it's possible. I still don't see Chelsea finishing in the top 4, but it's very possible as long as they continue to win their games. The Chelsea side. Tottenham also have a duty to win their games. They play the next game at Wembley Stadium against Watford, while Chelsea will play against Huddersfield at where are they playing? Is it Chelsea or Huddersfield? Yeah, well, we'll confirm that, but they're playing against Huddersfield, and it's all to play for. But for Chelsea to ever make top 4, they have to pray or hope that Tottenham do not win their final 2 games of the season. Then they have a chance. But if Tottenham continues to win, it doesn't matter what Chelsea do. Tottenham will play Champions League football at the expense of Chelsea.
throw in here to Liverpool. Nathaniel Klein will take on the very edge of the right-hand side of their attack. It's taken quickly. It's kept in play there by James Milner. It gets the header. It's still Liverpool's to advance now. Referee's assistant says that. Sadio Mane was looking for someone to quickly join the attack with him. It's taken quickly. Takes it back to Dejan Lovren. Virgil van Dijk changing direction now to the left-hand side of attack, where Robertson has played a quick one with Milner. Dejan Lovren is back to the right-hand side. Nathaniel Klein is on a yellow. Picked it up. Can he turn? Virgil van Dijk. Jorginho Wijnaldum in the center circle. He picks up the ball now. The Dutchman, Lovren. And now there's Nathaniel Klein. Quick movement between Milner and Mo Salah. Milner is been covered down. Rudiger, no foul.
That's
Goal
no foul.
kick to Chelsea.
Good decision by the referee. The other point, I was thinking the referee was going to give it, but the assistant referee was close enough to make a decision, and because he didn't raise his flag, the central referee allowed play to go on, and at the end of the day, it's a good way of defending from Antonio Rudiger.
I think, Bimbo, quickly, just go back to the point that Bola made earlier on. I think the advantage is with Tottenham now, because their last 2 games will be played at home at Wembley. So they'll be hosting Newcastle on Wednesday in the first game, and also the last game will be at Wembley against Leicester City. So for Chelsea, home game on Wednesday against Huddersfield, and their last game will be against Newcastle away from home.
So it's advantage.
So Newcastle will have a massive say between both teams.
And when you look at Tottenham, they play Newcastle on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Highly winnable game.
That's at home, and also against Leicester the last game.
Leicester are playing so poorly now. Another winnable game.
Too. But for Chelsea against Huddersfield
they did the point. They stopped Man City today.
So that ascendancy might be with them, and that momentum. Yes, Chelsea will be playing at home, but you never can take that away from Huddersfield.
So Chelsea now play Newcastle in their final game away. It will be tough, but not impossible, like I said, for Chelsea to make top 4. But the damage had been done before now. But if you're lucky, I mean, if Tottenham can lose at West Brom, that are struggling to stay up, why can't they lose against Newcastle and Leicester at home? It's going to be interesting to see how it all develops right here in the Premier League as teams. The only thing left now is who finishes. Who joins Man United and Man City in the Champions League next season. Those are the only 2 teams guaranteed of playing Champions League football. Even Liverpool are not safe. And Liverpool have a disadvantage if they lose today. They have just 1 more game left. While Chelsea have 2, Tottenham have 2. It's going to be very frenetic going into the final game of the season. Liverpool, as we speak, are the ones under. Well, they have a disadvantage, if I can put it that way. 72 points they have in third. Tottenham have 71 points. Chelsea have 69 points with a win today against Liverpool. So it's very important that Liverpool do not lose today. If they lose, they are not assured of Champions League football. But there's a backdoor. If they don't qualify in the top 4 in England, they just need to win the Champions League, and we'll have 5 teams playing in the Champions League next season. But it's always better to do your job in England if you can, because you don't even know if you're going to win the final in the first place.
But the good thing for them, brother, is that their last game is at home to Brighton. So next weekend.
And Brighton are safe.
And Brighton are safe.
So all they need to do is whatever happens today, they still need to beat Brighton.
Right, here comes Chelsea. An interception, very, very vital and crucial one there from James Milner's pass. They're still moving forward there, Eden Hazard. It's being well, crowded out. And a quick 1-2 there, but red shirts of Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk doing the job. And the final 45 minutes are played, and 2 additional minutes in this game. Jorginho Wijnaldum dealing and dallying needlessly, if you ask me. Dejan Lovren back to Wijnaldum, crosses the halfway line, sends the ball to the left hand side there where Robertson is waiting, and you will find James Milner now to Wijnaldum, pushes it forward there, Robertson, and the push, referee says no foul. Mane to Mo Salah. Wijnaldum, he trips over himself, but he picks it back up. Keep playing there, a push and a pull and a tug. And game still continues. It's still Liverpool with the possession, but not really advancing with it. Still looking for an inroad into this Chelsea defense on that left-hand side where they're concentrated now. Liverpool, 46 minutes and counting. We're in the final seconds of the time added on. Only 2 minutes added, and those 2 minutes are 10 seconds away. Here comes Sane. Can he hit from here? He's been stopped in his tracks. James Milner picks up the loose ball, goes on to the left-hand side. Can the cross come in? No, it's gone out for a goal kick.
And I guess that's...
Meanwhile, Arsenal have gotten a second goal out there at the Emirates.
Wow, Arsenal...
It's a second goal for Arsenal and Arsene Wenger, and it's come from Alexander Lacazette. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. And Olivier Giroud is the hero of the first 45 of this particular encounter.
Well, talking about the Arsenal game, we can say the match winner so far is Lacazette. Created the first goal for Aubameyang and scored the second for Arsenal just before halftime. So it's a lot to cheer for the Arsenal faithfuls who have come here to say their bye-bye to their most successful manager, Arsene Wenger, who takes charge of the team one more time at the Emirates. Decent first half in our feature game between Liverpool and Chelsea. Liverpool, the better side, we don't care. We care about the goals, and Chelsea have got 1 goal, and you have to say it was well taken, and they deserve to be ahead because they've been very efficient and clinical in putting the ball into the back of the net. Quickly on YouTube, we're having your comments coming in. Keep sending them. TT Lola Owomide says, good evening, House. I'm watching you all live. I'm happy. Game on, Ishebere, Chelsea for life. He or she says. Arishe Oluwatosin is also here. He says, evening, Bimbo, Solio, the Russia-bound Starby, the Chief Bolanriwa. Nice to see you guys. Pray for Sir Alex.
Yeah, we are praying.
He says. So keep them coming in on YouTube. We're live. You're seeing us, and you can also watch us.
All right. Well, score lines for games played so far in the MPFL. What's it looking like, so?
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking for, at least for the home team, for the away team. It's not looking good right now. But quickly, most of the games are barely into the second half right now. Just about 5 minutes or thereabout played at all match venues for the first half. But let's look at the halftime scoreline as they ended, because nothing has really changed from that one. So for the first game here on the offering is Rivers United against Albia Warriors. What we heard from that venue, that it's been a boring game, and so the scoreline suggests. So goalless between both teams. Katsina United leading Plateau United by 1-0 right there, and also the goal was scored by Destiny Ashadi. It was a 38th minute penalty goal scored by Destiny Ashadi right there. Kwara United against Yobe Desert Stars is still 1-1 right now. Shegun Alebios is the scorer for Kwara United before the equalizer for Yobe Desert Stars by Shinedum or Anashom. And also FC Fahimba, you know, they went down, but they had to come from behind to level things against Goran LC. I mean, the first goal by Goran LC was scored by Shidin Washiku on 3rd minute, while Ekene Awaze equalized for FC Ifeanyi. But other scoreline, Sikimu Olatubosun is the scorer of both goals for MFM FC as they lead Niger Tornadoes by 2-0. They scored the first goal in the 7th minute and the second one in the 19th minute right there at the Soccer Temple in Agege. Halftime also in that game involving Wiki Tourist and Regents International 1-1. That one is playing out right now. So Kano Pillars, they are trailing away to Ackland FC. 1-0, they are losing away from home. Their top striker, talking about Junior Lokosa, who's on 16 goals now in 18 games, is yet to come to the party right there. So they are still trailing 1-0 away to that goal scored by OK Onwandike for Ackland FC. So it's everywhere you look at the MPFL ball. Goals galore for the home teams.
But the away sides are not scoring.
No. There's a way MPFL plays out in the second leg of the season. It's always difficult for the away teams. They get tired. It's
a lot of factors, not just fatigue. So many factors does not help the away side.
Solly is just pulling a Mickey.
You don't want to say everything. You don't want to be too, how would I say it now, too clear or pertinent. It's just what it is when it comes to the night.
All right. We're going to go on a short break right now. We have Chidebere and Buchi on the road, and at some point we'll be taking their calls. It's the Go Fest tour. I don't think I need to tell you guys much about Go Fest. We are going to be there. It's now our tradition every year. We will be there for you. The final of the UEFA Champions League that night, we will be there. It's a party. It's a jamboree. It's a carnival. It's anything you can think of. Where you can catch fun. So much to do. Those guys will be out.
We actually send them out to hustle today. We've been talking a lot about Go Fest from the studio, so they are the ones out there to go and hustle and see the people closely. Let's see if they have a lot to share with us as they are out there, and it's all about Go Fest. The campaign has been taken out of the studio. They've hit the street, and Buchi and Chidebere better deliver, or else we give them a query, we find them, then we don't pay them their salary eventually.
Right, we're going to take that break. And also when we get back, of course, we are going to be a little bit more interactive. We're going to talk to you. We're going to have those discussions. We're going to take phone calls and read your tweets and all of that. Continue to get in touch with us. Be with us on YouTube as well. It's Nigeria Info FM, 3 separate words, Nigeria space info space FM. Find us on YouTube. Use the search engine right on top of the page and look for our channel, and you can subscribe when you find us. The break is on right now. It's still Football Frenzy here with Femi and the gang. It's a Super Sunday. Chelsea, Liverpool, big games, Arsene Wenger, final game, and of course, much later in the day, is that El Clasico thing again. So, you want to stay with us until very, very late in the night today. It's action upon action upon action upon action upon action upon action.
Hi, my name is Tunji Andrews, and I run the SME show on 99.3 Nigeria Info every Monday at 10 a.m. You see, every second Monday of the month, we have what we call the Pitch It Mondays, where if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business idea, but you need investment into your business, you're able to pitch it to investors who will be with me in the studio. You'll be able to pitch your ideas in 45 seconds or less. And if you can catch their attention, you get the critical investment you need into your business. So rehearse what you're going to say, make sure you're able to catch their attention in 45 seconds or less. You might get that investment into your business.
Hi guys, my name is Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. I currently host Morning Crossfire. I'm here to tell you that you have to get your PVC. Your permanent voter's card is your power, and in your hand you hold the power to make any necessary change that you want in Nigeria. Please participate, because elections are not the end of democracy and governance. The highest office in the land is the office of the citizen. You and I are citizens of Nigeria. Get your PVC. Your PVC, your voice.
Hi, I'm Tunji Andrews, and this is 1,000 Naira notes. To some people, this represents a meal or a few bottles of beer. To other people, this is 4 units of Dangote Cement shares or 21 units of GT Bank stock, or the startup capital needed to start that pure water business. Whoever you are and whatever your needs might be, we have you covered on the Money Business and Economy Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Cause it's not really the amount of money that matters. It's usually what you do with it. Cheers.
early second goal in the second half. Mo Salah has already had an opportunity to have a striker, but a very, very feeble shot has come to nothing. They've now switched sides, now playing from right to left of our screens. I was talking about Liverpool and Arsenal are yet to kick off. It's just as we were. 1 to Chelsea playing at Stamford Bridge, 0 to Liverpool, who are the visitors out here. No changes to either side. James Milner still continues despite that knock in the first half. Olivier Giroud also still back on the pitch. Seems to have walked his knock off as well. And Arsenal also 2 goals up at the Emirates. And here's a chance for Chelsea! And that was Victor Moses, and he dragged that one wide from the right-hand side, hitting it well, but perhaps not well enough. I think he should have been doing, should have done better from such an angle. Perhaps look for a player. Olivier Giroud was waiting, and was it Marcos Alonso was also in a good position. He decided to go for goal. If he was going to go for goal,
I don't even think he was going for goal, Bimbo, because he just hit it hard without knowing what he wanted to do, whether to go for the pass or even going for the goal. Because in that instant, it should have been better. It should have been well advised for Victor Moses to just call the bank. Where you have 2 players, and you have Olivier Giroud, and also you have Marcos Alonso, who were in more advanced position than you are. I mean, playing across to them. That's what you say about decision making for Victor Moses at times. Awful at times.
All right, just to remind you, we are streaming this game live on YouTube. You can be a part of this broadcast. Join us. Go to YouTube, www.youtube.com, and search for our channel. It's a Nigeria Space Info Space FM. We'll advise and suggest that you also hit the subscribe button when you get to the channel. Hit the like button, and you can begin to watch us live. 3 of us in the studio here. My name is Bimba Wele. Bolarewa is also with us, as well as Soliu Adeyebo, and everybody's distinctively dressed in 3 different jerseys. I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey. Bolarewa is repping stationary stores.
Where are you guys playing now?
We're existing. We are existing as a football club. Up Flaming, Stationary Stores FC of Nigeria. Even though we are not in the NPFL, they're too mago too much. But we'll be back at some point to contest for the title.
In the same mago league.
We'll change the dynamics. By then, maybe we'll go down receive sense in the NPFL. But good to also join the second half between Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea still leading against the Liverpool side. Also, Arsenal is going to be a good end at the Emirates for Arsene Wenger, because Arsenal still lead by 2-0. And we're still waiting for the call from the guys on the streets promoting Go Fest 2018. Buchi and Chidi Ebere. When the coast is clear, we'll be waiting to hear what they have to say about Go Fest on the streets. Yeah, let's confirm if we have them on the line at this point in time. I hope they are the one. I'm not sure. They are the one. Well, let's just check, just to be sure. Hi. Hello. Okay. What's happening?
Well, let's hope they get in touch with us at some point. Here's Chelsea on that left-hand side. It's Bakayoko, and it's found Eden Hazard. Liverpool players with their hands up, and well, that's an opportunity from N'Golo Kante that was always rising. Was never going to get anywhere in between the sticks. Let's see if we can still trying to get in touch with the lads out there. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
All right,
okay.
well, it's not them. We're going to keep trying to get in touch with them as we continue our broadcast. It's 50 minutes gone.
Chidebere is a funny fellow. He's a funny fellow, actually. So we'll just wait. We know the line, and we're just waiting for that call to come in. The guys on the street about Go Fest this year, proudly sponsored by Baba Ijebu. Not your regular Baba Ijebu. This one they pay, you know. And not forgetting Star Times, Indomie, all sponsoring Go Fest this year. So Chidebere, you know the number to call as we await that call. And wherever you guys are, we would like to hear what the fans make of the football season and the end of it at Go Fest 2018. Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos.
Right, well, here's Liverpool. The cross I really don't know what to make of that. It doesn't
Yep.
look like I don't know. I don't know what to make of what I just saw on that right-hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold. It was always. Let me just put it this way: it was always rising.
It was always rising.
It was always rising.
Just as we saw N'Golo Kante did something similar the other time. I mean, just a few minutes ago, though, I think for Arnold, it was just he just hit it anyhow, and that's not the way to play. You are playing at this level. I think yes, there are things like this come with maturity or the lack of it at times, and I think that's what the lack of maturity is what has just shown right there with Arnold. And we saw Victor Moses went into that tackle, and the referee called that one, but. Why is he angry? That was a foul, wasn't it? That was a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul, and it was right there in front of Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte also showing his displeasure. You know, I don't know. I've said this one too many times. These players, I mean, it's just football. You don't need to lie. You don't need to lie. You don't need to do, prove anything. A foul is a foul. A foul is a foul.
It's a foul. You have to follow the rules.
And now we have another foul, and it's going to Liverpool. James Milner standing over this one to take it quickly. He fakes that effort. He'll retake it right now. Dead ball situation. Everybody in blue is behind the ball. Mo Salah looking to find James Milner, who was running into space, but Chelsea have stopped this one. Eden Hazard takes it back to Victor Moses. And now Eden Hazard will take this one. He turns his man well. Virgil van Dijk standing over him. One Belgium to another. He comes crashing to the ground. Foul Chelsea.
I think as Eden Hazard has been handful, but he's been handful since the start of the second half. He's been getting into difficult areas, taking off 3-4 the Liverpool defenders. I mean, that even explains why his shells is currently turned right now. Maybe he needs a new shot. But Eden Hazard, yes, and he gets one. He gets a new one. He gets a new jersey for Eden Hazard.
He's been destroyed,
battered. He's been battered. Since the turn of second half, he's been everywhere for them. He's been on the right, he's been on the left, tormenting Liverpool, getting the difficult area and making life miserable for the defenders.
Well, there's a good position here for Chelsea. The cross is in, and the clearance comes there from Robertson. It's a corner kick to Chelsea. They've not had many of those in this game so far. Just looking at that one, not so many corners for Chelsea.
But that was a good job by Robertson, Bimbo.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going on in his back.
And it's taking there from Cesc Fabregas on the right-hand side. It's an outswinger. Goes back to Victor Moses. To Fabregas. Eden Hazard turns his man back to goal. N'Golo Kante sends it to Cahill. Long ball forward there. Nobody inside. It goes all the way to goalkeeper Loris Karius for Liverpool. The number 1 shattered man. Back to Karius to give it to Robertson. And the Chelsea players not closing down the goalkeeper, Jorginho Wijnaldum, to James Milner on that left-hand side. Changes direction across field to Dejan Lovren. Nathaniel Klein is waiting. 1-2. Good play between Lovren and Klein. Picks up the ball. Back to Lovren. Just happy not to give away possession. There's no inroad on the right-hand side, so they decide to go left here, Liverpool. Good play here. James Milner, he's gone to ground. No foul, says the referee. N'Golo Kante stands his ground and allows the ball to goal kick.
Good play by N'Golo Kante. Ensured that was played for a goal kick.
Okay.
Right.
And I think for Chelsea, there's something they are doing very good in this second half, which is keeping Liverpool at bay. I mean, limiting the extent of the damage they could cause them, and also putting them on the defensive. That's something they've been doing since the start of the second half, and I'm sure if they continue like this, yes, 3 points might well be granted for the Blues.
Well, we can tell you Arsenal have now made it 3. It's Sead Kolasinac. It's now scored Arsenal's 3rd goal of the afternoon. Arsenal are an entirely different team when they play at home. They're an entirely different team when they play at home.
Especially in 2018.
No, it's been like that all season. Since the start of the season, they've only lost 2 games away from, at home. One, they were thoroughly beaten by Manchester City, 3-1 at home. And was almost the fourth there from
Mickey Boy.
Mkhitaryan. And Arsenal at home, on average, Arsenal score an average of 3 goal
At the
games.
Emirates, yeah.
We know when
They've
they
been
play.
consistent.
Yeah, very, very consistent. And they play a very, very good game at home, both
Remember.
in the league and out of the league. But when they go on the road,
It's a second.
Goal.
It's a second. Oh, it's offside.
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 Assistant referee said no
Offside.
goal.
And
Rudiger outside.
Rudiger there. That should have been Chelsea's
I think it was offside.
second.
It was
It was,
offside.
it was,
Good
yeah,
call
it was.
from the assistant referee. But he
Was
thought
it
he
off or
scored.
was it a
I
foul?
mean, look at the corner kick taken by Victor
Of
Moses.
course,
it
it's
was
offside.
Headed on,
Yeah,
taken by
because of space,
Chilwell. Yeah,
offside.
it was just all alone there. All alone.
It was
I didn't believe it. But that's clearly offside.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. You know what it would have been like if this happened. You know, viewing center, the whole place would have gone wild.
Everybody
You
will
know,
now calm
everybody would
down.
have celebrated.
You will now calm down
and then you
afterwards.
calm down.
But I think the ball that led to the corner kick was net goal for Eden Hazard.
Salah.
It took it through the channels and all alone it hit it. Lucas Carrios has saved it well and it was a corner kick. And Chelsea has been on the offensive and it just confirms something to me. But I've heard a lot of people say talk about Liverpool, how they play high tempo, a kind of game, a brand of game that you can't sustain beyond 30 minutes or thereabouts. And that's what they're showing. When you see Liverpool playing at the nascent stage of any game, they go at you, they attack you. But as the game winds down, so also is the kind of the tempo they bring to the game also wins down too.
Well, it's good to see Arsenal doing well in the other game. And it's also good to see Arsene Wenger set to live on a high. And just like Bimbo said, the Emirates Stadium is too classy. I mean, with some of the stadia that I've visited in England, I can confidently say Arsenal Stadium, I'll say it in local parlance, Ote. When you see that field, Ofek Babo, you just want to play ball. It's a very smooth surface. And you know Arsenal like to pass, they like to press. So I think it suits them when they're playing at home. Not to say that other stadia are not that sweet to play football, but I know Wembley is a class stadium, Old Trafford as well, Emirates. I've been there so many times and I think it suits the way Arsenal like to play. But when it's away, they have lesser fans and there's more pressure on them, especially when they're playing against fellow top six or teams looking to play in the Champions League. But the pour away from this year is just unbelievable. I mean, Arsenal still have not gotten a point away from home in 2018, which is not typical of the Arsenal side. They are always known to go on and score as many goals as a football club, but this year has been really poor. But like we already know, they won't be winning the trophy this year. They won't be winning any trophy this year, and they will have to be contented with what they have to do in the Europa League next
Arsenal
season.
are winning this year is that Arsene Wenger is going.
Well, I think
That's a massive trophy
maybe
for some
for
Arsenal fans.
the people who want him out. For the people who want him out, it's a massive trophy already at the end of the season. So we'll see how it goes from there. And Wenger has already said, I will not be playing a part in who replaces me as manager. But all I would say is that the new manager should do what's best for Arsenal, because that's what I've always done as a manager. And it's unusual. I think Wenger may likely have a say in who replaces him. He said he's been speaking highly of Luis Enrique, the former Barcelona manager. But at the end of the day, he doesn't want to do it. Sir Alex Ferguson, who single-handedly picked David Moyes to replace him, and it wasn't a good outcome. It was a very bad decision eventually. So Wenger wouldn't be doing that. And I'm sure before the end of the month, Arsenal will announce a new manager. It's very important they do it before the World Cup starts. Announce a new manager after the World Cup pre-season, then you launch yourself into the new season. That's just the best way to go. Take away all the distraction and all the speculations about the new manager. Let it be put to bed. Focus on next season, because this is a pivotal time for the Arsenal side. Wenger is going after 22 years, and you haven't let the fans and the world know who will be taking over and the plans for the future. It's very important that they do it before the end of May.
I'm planning for next season, but it's also has a lot to do with naming a new manager as early as possible. I was reading a report earlier on. I mean, just when the game was on, when the first goal was scored, from BBC chief correspondent, chief football writer Phil McNulty, who is actually at the Emirates Stadium. He's saying that a lot of fans chanted Arsene Wenger when the goal was scored, and shortly afterward, the next thing they started chanting was Patrick Vieira, you know. And I guess Patrick and a couple of guys are actually at the stadium, and you're right, they are there Emmanuel Petit also there at the stadium
to honor the
to honor
manager.
the manager, and they said every name, the name that is resonating all across Emirates after mentioning Arsene Wenger was Patrick Vieira. You know, Patrick Vieira, a legend of Arsenal.
It won't be the next manager.
And in fact, I think it was the first foreign player to be signed by Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, Wenger has spoken highly of him.
Yep.
Wenger has spoken highly of him.
And it would be surprising to see Patrick Vieira being Arsenal manager.
Right, hello. Hello. Well, we'll keep monitoring those lines to see if the guys will call us at any point. It's 61 minutes gone. It's still Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Arsenal 3 goals better than Burnley, who are still looking to get their first goal in this particular tie. And just still talking about Arsenal, there are talks that the incoming manager will be giving £200 million to shop in the summer. That's according to all the. It's very. You see, people don't. Arsenal are not a poor club anymore.
No, they are not.
Arsene Wenger was actually giving £150 million to shop last summer.
But the market is too bad for £150 million now.
Yeah, but you know, it was actually.
It's actually small
but
now.
the thing is that how much of it did Arsene Wenger spend?
It is. I think
it's not that
Arsene.
you know. It's not that.
He bought Aubameyang.
It's not that the club does not have money. It's Arsene Wenger doesn't want to spend.
He doesn't want to spend.
He doesn't want to spend.
But you soon find out that it's not really about Wenger when the new manager comes in. The manager won't be a checkbook manager like Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, but
this is Arsenal. It's not owned by one person. I mean, like I keep saying, what people don't understand about
United are not owned by one person.
Yeah,
Liverpool is not owned by one person.
United are owned by one person, actually, even Liverpool.
A family.
Yeah, a family, but they've been taken over. Nobody has a single power over Arsenal.
Exactly.
But the Glazers took over.
But somebody has
controlling
shares.
Yeah,
Kroenke has controlling shares. Usmanov has been trying to get those controlling shares. And Usmanov has made it known that if he gets controlling shares, he's going to do X, Y, Z things.
But they are not allowing him. See, the only way that Arsenal can compete with the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City is if a person buys the club and has sole power to put in money to the club. Liverpool have a new owner, but the owners have not put so much money in the club. It's different for Chelsea. It's different for Man City. They have owners who are ready to spend and invest in the team. And like I keep saying, why I keep on defending Arsene Wenger had a plan for the future of Arsenal. He wanted them to be safe in the future, but it was not timed properly. Well, it's not his fault because nobody knew that Abramovich was going to buy Chelsea and have all the money to destroy Arsenal because Arsenal couldn't compete. Nobody knew that Manchester City were going to be sold as well to have them money to spend. So the plan of Arsene Wenger was to build a new stadium and still be competitive. That would have been the case if Chelsea and City were not rivals. It would have still be Man U, Arsenal, then Liverpool. But because of the money spent by Chelsea and Manchester City, it changed dynamics. And Arsenal couldn't compete in both ways. They couldn't be paying money they borrowed to pay their new stadium and also be competitive because you have to let one go. And they had to sacrifice repaying the debt and not buying players. And if it hadn't been the case for Chelsea and Man City, they would have promoted so many players from the academy who will still be competing. But the dynamics changed and they couldn't cope. But now that they are no longer owing for the new stadium, it's now time for them to start investing on players. And it's still hard because Usmanov can't do it alone, Kroenke can't do it alone. And the only way I think they can actually compete is to have a new owner, which is not looking likely at the moment. So I think Arsenal will still suffer. Even United cannot compete with Man City when it comes to buying players. They cannot compete with Chelsea, not to talk of Arsenal. But they can always manage what they have and still try to be competitive. Tottenham do not have all the money, but they manage to get their players winning games and qualifying for the Champions League. Arsenal can do that. But another problem that I see for Arsenal next season is Europa League. If Arsenal are totally out of Europe, trust me, they can make top 4. But the Europa League is a problem because you get to play on Thursday night, so many matches, you play on Sunday. I mean, look at them. They played on Thursday night. They are here again on Sunday. It doesn't help the players. We'll have to wait and see how Arsenal cope. But next season is looking like status quo because it will still be United, City, Liverpool, and Tottenham or Chelsea. It all depends on who plays Champions League this season at the end of it all.
Well, it's goal number 4 for Arsenal, and well, it's Iwobi who has made it 4 for the Gunners right now.
That's one is for Nigeria.
Perfect sense.
And that's the story. You know, with Arsenal and their home games, it continues. So it's a perfect sending off, and well, a chance for Chelsea. The pressure is still building there. Alonso trying to play a quick one there with Bakayoko, but well, it's come to nothing. And here's Anthony says Arsenal fans can chant Patrick Vieira as long as they want. For me, he's not the man for the job. We need tested and trusted managers.
But Vieira is trusted. He's the coach of New York City FC.
Yeah.
So at least he has a coach that is managing, although they lost. They lost against Red Bull.
And he's been with City for a while.
Before going there.
Yeah, before going to the United States, he's been coaching Manchester City's youth side. Well, the guys are at Idumota, I think, and well, they are doing a lot of sharing
Indomie.
In the name
Sorry,
of
I wish I was there.
Indomie noodles.
Free Indomie to chop.
Free Indomie and all of that in the name of Go Fest Nigeria. It's a viewing center there at Idumota. Play Baba Ijebu, Indomie Nigeria, and all representatives from all our stations, Nigerian for our sister stations, Cool FM and Wazobia. We can see pictures and short videos here on Twitter of people dishing out Indomie. So watch football, eat on one side, all courtesy of Indomie and of course Go Fest. So this is a sneak peek and preview of what you're going to expect at Go Fest. So you definitely, I mean lunch and lunches.
Lunch is guaranteed.
Yeah, and it's even good. You know, it falls during the month of Ramadan, so you just come. Don't break your fast. You're a Muslim.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, I just saw you. I said it.
Don't break your fast. So you're
coming. Just come. Don't break your fast.
Of course, I mean it's still fair because the final is at 7:45 p.m. So when you are there in the afternoon, you know it starts at 2 o'clock. You are there. You wait for the final. You eat. You break your fast, and you continue to watch. God help you, your team. The team that you're supporting in the final wins, and it makes it a good night. But apart from Indomie, shout out to Baba Ijebu Premier Bet, and not forgetting Star Times, who are also sponsors of Go Fest this year. And we're looking forward to it. Last year was a banger, was a blast, not a bomb blast. It was a blast when it comes to entertainment. And we saw Real win that final by 4-1 against Juventus. Real are back again. I mean, since we started Go Fest, we haven't done it without Real in the final. And this time they'll be playing against Liverpool. Should be interesting to see who goes on to win it this year. But the biggest about Go Fest and the fact that not just a football match, it's all about entertainment, comedy, a whole day, and it's a party. So you never miss out on all of the excitement this year. So get ready, Go Fest 2018, brought to you by Star Times, Premier Bet, Baba Ijebu, always paying people money, and not forgetting Indomie, instant noodles.
All right, so 69 minutes gone out there. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0 is still the scoreline. Arsenal 4, Burnley 0 at the Emirates Stadium. And it looks like we'll be getting a substitution out there at the Emirates. No, it's still as you were. Corner kick quickly taken. And Trent Alexander-Arnold involved in that one. It comes to nothing. So Chelsea goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois will get us going in this game. Actually, Loris Karius on that side. It goes back to him. Long ball forward from the big goalkeeper for Liverpool. And here's Chelsea.
Aha.
Cesc Fabregas with that pass.
Offside.
But offside there, Eden Hazard caught in no man's land.
Well, quickly, Bimbo, just to shout out to our guys who are streaming live, watching live on YouTube. Many messages are still coming in. Titi Lola Owomide says, this is my first time of watching you guys on YouTube. I'm very happy. Can't wait to see all these faces on the 26th at Go Fest 2018. Game on, Ishebere. He says, Amos Israel, also on the YouTube page, is happy. And he says, happy Sunday, guys. Love you all. We love you too. As a Liverpool fan, but don't care what the outcome of the match. Please, how do I register for Go Fest? It's very simple. GoFestNigeria.com and get your free pass. Akimu, Thursday night, really. After all, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United went through the same routine.
I get what he's trying to say.
Yeah. So maybe Arsenal should be able. Well, like I see.
Chelsea went to Europa. They won.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you where I'm coming from when it comes to playing Thursday night football. You have to sacrifice something. You cannot do well in the league and win the Europa League, and you cannot win the Europa League. And I mean, you have to sacrifice one. It's either you let whatever is happening in the Europa League go away and get top four.
I know that's the
You can't do
impression.
top four.
I know that's the impression a lot of people give, but I'm not totally sold on that.
But this
because
is
you know why?
Because
you know why you should be
on
sold.
Sunday.
You know why you should be
You
sold.
get to rest on Friday and Saturday. You don't play.
But-
Everybody
but
plays on
this is the
Saturday.
thing.
Wait, let me say something. Bimbo, you
rest,
know why
you play on Sunday.
you know why it's difficult.
So you
I'll
are
keep saying
giving your
this.
day off.
No, it's
You
not
get
the day
your day
off.
off.
See, you have on a normal day, the Champions League guys who play on Tuesday and play on Saturday, they have more days to rest. But you know the disadvantage of Europa League. You play on Thursday night when you
The
have
man who plays on Wednesday will play on Sunday. He gets 2 days
no
of rest.
on Saturday.
On
in
Saturday.
fact,
On Saturday, he gets 2 days of rest.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's Thursday and Friday.
You play on Thursday, you get 2 days of rest,
You know-
and they've not. You could say this. You could say this could maybe during the early days of the Europa where they travel to.
That is my point. That is my point.
To some far place.
But you are also playing league matches then.
But yeah. But you still get to
see,
rest. You
but-
still
but
get
I
your
say,
2 days of
okay.
rest.
But if you're arguing it, have you seen?
And you know, let's look at this. When Arsenal played in the Europa, Arsenal played the qualifying stages of the Europa with the second team. Arsene Wenger did not expect them to get out of the group stages. The guys that played the Europa, Reece Nelson, Rob Holding, nobody from the first team played. Ospina, it was Theo Walcott and Olivier Giroud that played. So everybody, Ozil did not kick a ball.
Bimbo.
All those boys
Let
did
me
not
explain.
play.
Let me just explain something.
They were in the league. They had no business not going far in the league. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Let me make you understand something again, Bimbo.
Unlike the other teams that maybe went to play the Europa with their full strength, Arsenal did not do that. Arsene Wenger played the entire Europa with his second team. Nobody from the first team kicked a single ball in the group stages.
Let me now get the
and when you
explanation.
went to the knockout stages, you played teams that were closer to you. The team that they played furthest away from them was CSKA Moscow that they played in Russia.
Chelsea played in the Europa League.
You played Atletico in next door Spain here.
Can you let me explain something?
Spain,
Chelsea.
It's more or less as if you played in the
Do
Champions
you want
League.
me to talk at all, Bimbo? Chelsea.
Chelsea. Playing Atletico in that semi-final.
I don't want to say
it
much.
was as if you played in the Champions League.
It's overflogged, but I'll say something again. Two teams who are also big in England went to the Europa League, suffered in the Premier League, and won it. Man United, let me finish. Man United did the same thing. When they were playing in the Europa League, the league form suffered. They went on to play it. Why will Arsenal be exempted when they also... Let me finish. Why would they be exempted when they also played in the same competition?
Arsenal had no business because... See,
why are Arsenal being criticized for not doing well in the league and not winning the Europa League?
Arsenal had no business suffering in the league because they played in the Europa
Arsenal are even the team that should suffer because they don't have a better or bigger squad than Chelsea and United, who went on to win the Europa League.
Who were the players who played in the Europa League now? Bolaniwa.
See, Arsenal,
who were the players who...
Arsenal do well normally when they play Champions League and... they play Champions League and the Premier League and they still do well. It's not a myth, it's a fact. Because they play more games in the Europa League.
Let's continue what we are doing.
I don't know why this is an argument in the first. It's not.
It's a
the
myth.
facts are there. I just gave you an example. Chelsea suffered because of the Europa League. Man United suffered because of the Europa League.
Who played for Chelsea in the Europa
League? It's not about
League?
players. It's about what they have to do on a Thursday night to play on Sunday when they travel and play more games. They play more games in the Europa League than the Champions League. That's what it is.
Yes.
And it's a fact. These guys travel and it affects them, and they're not used to it. They're not used to playing Thursday night and Sunday football.
It's about management.
So they suffer, and Arsenal are the least when it comes to
managing.
teams that can do well combining the Champions League or Europa League and the league. It's never in Arsenal's advantage. It will be the same again next season, and you understand what I'm saying. Next season, they play Europa League, they try to win it and suffer in the league. If they are out of that competition, they can do well in the league. You can't mix both. Even teams who are bigger, they still suffer playing Europe and playing in the Champions League or Europa League and league matches. And look at Liverpool. When they had the chance to not even get interfered with playing Champions League or games in Europe, they qualified easily for the Champions League, which they are still playing and will play in the final. So it's a distraction. Any team, even Chelsea, the year they didn't play in Europe, they were cruising and they cruised to the Premier League title. That was last season. But this year, when they had to combine ordinary Champions League, not even Europa, they struggled in the league. So it's always a factor. If Arsenal go into the league and not play in Europe, they have what it takes to win the league because the distractions are not much. Europa League is the last league or last competition you want to play in. Champions League is better, but Europa League, it's always a problem to manage both.
Here's my question. I think the season that Chelsea went to Europa League and won the Europa League, where did they finish?
No, they crashed out from the Champions League and went on to win it.
Where did
they finished 6th.
Now, the season that Manchester United went into Europa League,
they finished 6th. So why is Arsenal exempted? Okay. When other teams do the same thing, they're also finishing 6th. But the disadvantage for Arsenal is that they didn't win it. But it's always the same result. That's my point.
It's a myth. You've allowed yourself to believe that is what
it's not the belief, Bimbo. If it could happen to Chelsea and United, why not Arsenal?
If I didn't follow, is this number 5? Yes, Arsenal have scored number 5. Now, if it wasn't, I would have agreed with this line of thinking if Arsenal went to play the Europa League.
It's just a fact. I'm backing it up with facts for you.
It's
not about just saying or thinking. There's a fact to show that these teams struggle when they play Europa League.
If Arsenal have played the Europa League with their first team players, I would agree.
Even United started with their second string last season. Yes, they lost to Feyenoord when they were playing Memphis Depay and all. They were struggling because they didn't want the competition. But somehow, it qualified. Mourinho did not give it the priority until when it dawned on him that we are not qualifying for top 4. He now started using his regulars. Zlatan, go and play. Let's try to win it. It was the same thing for us. Europa League is always ask any manager in the world. They prefer to play Champions League than Europa. You play against teams, you travel miles, you come back, you train immediately, and there's a team that has rested for 1 week, and you now face that team expecting to win that team. It's always difficult.
We got a quick shot on Enyimba Bimbo. They are playing the only team representing Nigeria on the continent right now. After the 3 other teams crashed out, we have Enyimba playing Joliba of Mali right here in Nigeria. It's still goalless. About 48 minutes played in that particular encounter. By the way, Enyimba are playing in Group C of the CAF Competition Cup alongside Joliba of Mali, and we also have Williamsville of Williams Athletic Club of Ivory Coast. We also have them playing for Brazzaville. That's the Kara Brazzaville of Republic of Congo as well. So Enyimba, they need to do all. This is not a good result I want to hear at this time. Goalless in 48 minutes. Playing at home is not a good way to start. Yes, goal. Enyimba have just scored. Just when we start talking about them more, is that they were waiting for us to go there. Yeah, Enyimba have taken the lead against Joliba of Mali 1-0. The goal was scored on 48 minutes, and that's just a way to go. You need to start getting the 3 points right now for you to get finish in a decent place in that particular Group C. Enyimba are playing against Joliba of Mali.
Quickly, let me say this on the Arsenal game. I mean, they just scored the 5th goal. Aubameyang is second of the game. What a chance again for Chelsea to get the second. Hasn't gone in. Quickly again about Arsenal. When the Europa League was going on this season, I kept on saying that the best team in the Europa League is Arsenal, and I'm tipping them to win it. But unfortunately for Arsenal, there was a certain Atletico who were also in that competition. Trust me, if Atletico wasn't in this competition, it's an easy win for Arsenal, just like Chelsea and Man United. United were lucky. They were the best side. The team that would have given them problems, Lyon, lost out to Ajax. It was a straightforward win against Ajax any day, anytime. Arsenal would have won it. Trust me, they had a chance to win it. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened. And like I said, Arsenal are not as good as United and Chelsea when it comes to the squad and to manage it. Arsenal are the leanest. But this year wasn't just supposed to be. And Arsenal always do well. The Europa League, I keep saying, is a distraction. And even Man City, if they play in the Europa League with their sweet playing football, it will always boil down to the recovery. Because they play more games and they travel a lot of miles. So I don't think it's enough time for them to come back after a Thursday night football and get themselves ready. Let's say they come back on Thursday night, they rest on Friday, they train on Saturday, or maybe on Friday again to rest on Saturday to play on Sunday. If Mourinho was complaining that year that they would like to play on Monday instead, just to allow more time to rest. But Champions League is always different. You play on Tuesday, you play on Saturday. It's too much to ask for. Except you want to field a totally different 11 on Thursday and a totally different 11 on Sunday, then you can manage. But it doesn't always work that way for the manager.
That's what I'm saying, because that's what they did.
No, they didn't do that.
That was what Arsenal did.
A whole 11.
Yes.
No, it wasn't the whole 11. There were days where 5 of the players who played in the Europa League will play again on Sunday.
There was no I'm telling you, if I didn't watch the Europa, different story. Nobody who played in the first team played
You are
Europa.
also still missing my point. I keep saying again, even if you rest all your players, even if you rest, one more suffer.
Ozil did not kick he did not kick the ball throughout. Lacazette,
Sanchez plays. Ozil played at the point. I remember.
That
Ozil
was
played
after
the in the group stage. He played.
No,
he did. He did play. There was a game they played.
We can check.
He played. Mesut Ozil.
We can check.
But my point still says the same. If you want to do well in the league, you cannot play well as well in the Europa. One has to suffer. Mourinho let the league suffer. He went on to win it. Arsene Wenger did the same. He allowed the league to die because he was feeling it was almost impossible for him to qualify in the top 4. Concentrated on the Europa League, it didn't work because he couldn't beat Atletico. But imagine Arsenal had crashed out earlier in the Europa League. They won't be where they are now in the league because concentration is high and it's easy to get the players motivated for matches if they are not distracted. But when you travel, I mean, they play more games, like we know. Apart from the fact that they play on Thursday night, they play more games.
How do you excuse some of the games that Arsenal lost to Newcastle, to Bournemouth,
United lost games like that
Bournemouth,
as well.
or all right, let's look at in 2018. The group stages are over. Abisolu. Yep. The group stages are over, but they have not won any game.
But this happened to Chelsea and
all the games that they
too.
played, was it the night after? Was it the week after Europa?
Okay.
All those away games that they lost, was it the week after? Was it during an Europa League week?
Do you know how many games United drew last season when they were playing the Europa League? They
has
drew
nothing
so
to
many
do with
games.
Europa.
It has to do
all
with
the
it.
games that they lost.
Why did they draw this season?
Was it after they played in the Europa?
United are better because they are not playing Europa League. If they had played in the Europa League this year, they would have lost so many games and drawn so many games. Same as Chelsea. Same as Chelsea as well.
Europa League is a problem. I can never agree.
But for me,
Europa League is a problem. It's a problem.
I will never agree.
It's neither here nor there because I think for a player, I mean, look at when you talk about their physicality, also how fit they are. I mean, like how many hours, how many days does a player need for him to recover from a game? I think it's barely 48 hours. So, and even in the Champions League too, it's not as if they have that luxury of space too often at times, because when you play on Wednesday, for example, I mean, you are expected to play at least on Saturday again, which means you also have 2 days to it. But in all of this, there is something.
No, some play on Tuesday and play on Saturday,
play on
even Sunday at times. So there is more days.
But like, I think the takeaway is simply put. It's just that I think it's all about your priority, getting your priority right.
And most of them put priority on the Europa League when they are struggling in the league. I mean, since the Champions League, we've seen teams that will play on Tuesday night and don't play until Sunday. It will never happen in Europa League. You play on Thursday, you play on Sunday. That's the difference. I mean, United can play on Tuesday, Chelsea can play on Tuesday night and do not play until Sunday because of TV. Normally, they should play on Saturday, but at times they structure the games to make sure they don't play until Sunday. Look at the number of days they've rested. Arsenal will never get that, or any club. You play on Thursday, you must play on Sunday. Because of TV, you must play on Sunday. It's not an advantage, it's a disadvantage. And it only happens when you play Europa League football. And see, mark my words today, Arsenal will suffer the same problem next year when they play in the same Europa League. They will never balance it. Europa League and Premier League is already... See, England is difficult already. We know it's now top 6. You will now be playing Europa League and Tottenham are not playing Europa League. No, it will always affect you no matter what. It will.
Right, we can't continue to wait for these guys to call us in vain. They've deprived us the opportunity to speak and pick your calls when we should. So please send those calls coming in. So many issues to talk about. Chelsea are still leading 1-0 here against Liverpool. We're in the final 5 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool still looking for that inroad foul here in favor of Chelsea. That tackle on Antonio Rudiger, and he's clutching what seems to be his hamstring here.
Yeah, I think I think it was a player down. Rudiger was down and it was pressed down again. There it was trampled upon, kind of. So, but the referee missed that one. So he still, but nothing was done. Nothing was done right there.
Right. Let's take our calls. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, who's there?
Hello.
Hello, who's there?
My name is Samuel.
All right, Mr. Samuel, talk to us.
I'm calling now. Yes, on Arsenal case. Hello, are you with me?
Yeah, we're with you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mela.
All right, sir. Talk to us.
Yes, on Arsenal case, where I'm surprised at Bola and why excuse. Well, Arsenal has been playing in Champions League for a very long time, and they find it difficult to pass the second round stage. What has been the performance in the league? You see, the problem with Arsenal is more of the mentality of the coach rubbing off on the player. And all the team he talked about, like Man U and Chelsea, they put more effort in the Europa League later. Not that they start with the Europa League first. Mourinho put all effort in the Europa League when he felt he could not make the Champions League to the league again. And Arsenal problem to me has been as a Wenger. He has a mentality that fourth position is the same thing as winning the league, in as much as they qualify for Champions League. And they need the manager that will put it in their mind that they need to win the league. And if I may ask, look at Liverpool. When last has Liverpool won anything, even when they did not qualify for either the Champions League or the Europa League? So when the majority of the games were played with second team, you see, all those are not excuses. The season Man U and Arsenal did not make it. There are other reasons apart from that. Man U has been struggling before then. What was the position before that season for Man U?
All right, thank you very much. Still need to take some more calls. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Marcel, talk to us.
How are you, Bimbo?
Fine, sir.
I can see everybody on the studio.
Hi, Marcel.
Hey, I'm following you.
Oh shit, alrighty, oh shit.
Yes, very bad. Still good to talk to you, man. How are you?
Very well.
Yeah, Marcel, I'm going to pop on the line. I think if people can remember when I caught in the afternoon, when I put something, then Friday from the very friend of mine. Say he's sorry for myself. Liverpool is going to beat me aside for a bit. I think now that story goes to Friday back. You know that? I think that is about what we call back to sender. My guy says to win Liverpool. Monday, nothing. Friday, I'm not up Chelsea. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, thank you very, very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Yes, we're in evening.
Yeah, this is Deborah on the line.
All right, Deborah, talk to us.
Yeah, good evening to everyone today.
Good evening.
I want to say good one to Chelsea. I'm happy they are leading the game. So I pray they should be able to sustain it. Then, Mr. Bola, hope you have been telling people to vote for you.
Yeah, we're still voting. Please keep voting.
Just 3 contestants.
Yeah, just 3 contestants. Have you voted?
I voted for you already.
Please, so use all your
Tell
emails.
people so that you can win, though.
Yes, so
but
I have to win.
Saying people are leading you already.
Yes, so please keep voting. Go to my Instagram and Twitter pages.
If you do not win, it's your fault, though.
I know. We're fighting. We're pushing. Thank you, Deborah.
Okay, take care.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye. Hello.
Sorry. Hello, good evening, guys.
Hi, good evening.
This is Ibn Amos.
All right, Ibn Abo, talk to us.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well. Fantastic.
So, update me about Chelsea, please.
Chelsea are still leading. 89 minutes gone. We're in the final minutes. It's 1 Chelsea, 0 Liverpool.
Okay, I hear 5 teams will be going for Champions League next season.
What was that?
5 teams will be going for Champions League
No,
next season.
it all depends on what happens, but it's not cast in stone that 5 teams will play Champions League.
Unless Liverpool wins the.
No, if they win it and they finish in top 4, it's still 4 teams.
It's still 4 teams.
Oh, so if they don't, that means just 4 teams will be going.
If Liverpool finish in top 4 and win Champions League, it's still 4 teams.
It's still 4 teams.
So Chelsea does not have a lifeline for now.
No, the only lifeline is for them to finish in top 4.
And then Liverpool drop to number 5 and win the Champions League.
They need to finish top 4 to play Champions League next season.
Liverpool is playing Watford or Newcastle.
They play Newcastle.
Tottenham. Hello?
No, Liverpool will be hosting Brighton in the last game. That's next week Sunday. I mean next week Saturday, right?
Okay, I think Tottenham is playing Newcastle on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
they are playing Newcastle on Wednesday, and their last game against Leicester City, all at home at Wembley. The 2 games at Wembley.
I will not hope for them to lose, but I hope for a draw for both games. so that Chelsea can win the remaining 2
They
games.
are playing the 2 games at home.
Yeah, of course, I know.
But Liverpool just one home game remaining now against Brighton over and Albion.
That's not a problem. I'm fine with that. As long as Liverpool and Tottenham plays draw in their next 2 games.
That's what you're hoping for.
That's the tall order.
That's what I'm hoping for, and I hope it turns out. If it does, I owe you guys.
Not so.
No, you
Not
have
today.
my word.
Not today.
No. It's tomorrow. It's not today.
No be today.
No, I believe you.
I see. I give you my word on that.
Okay,
I believe you. I'm taking your word.
We are taking your word for it.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Bimbo.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's Glory.
All right, Glory, talk to us.
Bolariwa.
Hi, glory, Manchester United. You're too much.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yesterday, I not see you.
You came yesterday?
Of course.
Are you kidding me? What time did you come?
I thought you were around, but did not come.
What time was that?
I was there from morning till evening. Ask him.
And you did? I was in the studio, duh. I was in the studio around 4 to 5 or 6 p.m.
I was with Emmanuel during the 3 o'clock call.
And you didn't see me?
No.
I took over from Emmanuel yesterday. So how did we miss?
You know what?
Yeah.
After Emmanuel left, after the game, you came to the studio. So after I left, Emmanuel was telling me that you were there, but you did not.
Oh, well. Of course, Go First is our next point of contact, hopefully.
Don't worry, you see it.
No problem. I can't wait to see you, Glory. At least I can put a face to the beautiful voice.
Yes. Okay. After Chelsea win this game, how many points do they have?
If Chelsea wins, no, they will have 69 points.
Just 2 points behind.
2 points behind Tottenham.
Okay, no wahala. Thank you.
Good to go.
All right, well, it's over at the Emirates. And 92 minutes and counting here at Stamford Bridge. 4 additional minutes have been added to that game. We've played 2 of those minutes. So Liverpool have less than 2 minutes to try and get back into this game. Let's keep taking your calls. Hello, good evening. Hello. Nobody on that particular line. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Bimbo.
Hi.
Good evening, Bimbo.
All right, sir.
And Savici.
Alrighty. Good evening to you.
Yeah, talk to us.
Credit don't finish. Okay, is that?
I think it's a good way for Wenger to sign off. 5-0 against only. So it's a very good one for him. At least they are sending him up on a high. Let's just see what the next man there is going to do. I hope just appoint Ancelotti. That's my take.
Ancelotti.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Hello, who's on the line? Anybody home? Apparently nobody. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Bimbo. This is Ojo Henry from Ijebu.
All right, sir. Talk to us.
Thank you. Please, you don't need to argue with Bolaniwa, because all the time, Everton, which one took part in the Europa League, where did they get to? It is consuming financially, morally, physically, and mentally. Chelsea and United that did well, they have the financial buoyance to do so. Any other team besides them would not have done better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Nobody on that line. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
All right, good evening, sir.
Yeah, Simon calling from my playground.
All right, see me and talk to us.
Yeah, Bolariwa and Bimbo, how are they?
We did.
Fine,
We're
fantastic.
Good. Yeah, I'm telling you. So the thing is that is a fact. Once we are participating in the Europa League, it will definitely affect. It's not that it's a myth or something like that. It's really, especially in England, that the competition is much there. So if Arsenal goes next season, you watch, it will affect them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much.
It's
Hello, good evening.
Full time at the Emirates. Arsenal have won against Burnley by 5-0. Burnley, who don't concede so many goals, have conceded 5 today. And Aubameyang with 2 goals is a star performer. It will be also on target. Lacazette also getting a goal, and Kolasinac. So Arsene Wenger ends as manager at the Emirates with a resounding victory against Burnley. Priority was supposed to be the Europa League. They are not going to win it this year, but at least they have pride at stake, the Arsenal side. So it's full time as well in the game between Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea have won, and it's all thanks to Olivier Giroud. Scored at the 32nd minute, and that was just enough for them to go on to secure maximum points. There's still a chance of Chelsea finishing in the top 4. It all depends on what happens with Tottenham, who also have 2 games in hand. So Liverpool have their final game at home to Brighton. They have their destiny in their hands as well. So if I have to look at the remaining games, I don't think it will change. It's still going to be Man City, Man United, Liverpool and Tottenham. Or maybe Liverpool and Tottenham could switch places because Tottenham now have the advantage of 2 games left to play.
But you never can put your money on Tottenham.
Yeah, you can't bet on them.
You can't bet on them.
But they're playing at Wembley. They should win games.
Well, they play at Wembley. Yeah, they are playing at Wembley the 2 games. I think that's the advantage for them. But you never can tell. I mean, Newcastle, if they bring on their A game against Tottenham Hotspur, maybe a draw might not even go beyond them. That's something that you need to look at as well. So, and you look at Chelsea. I think Chelsea has done the job done for them. As Antonio Conte said, I think about a few weekends ago, when he said all they just needed to do was just to keep doing their own thing, playing their own part. And I think they've done it up until this point now. And they need to do it also now against Huddersfield midweek when they will be playing that one at home, and also against Newcastle in their last game. So when they do that, they just hope for the worst to happen for Tottenham Hotspur. So I think they're doing that against Liverpool. Even as a Chelsea fan, I never had that sort of confidence that they were going to beat Liverpool. They've done the unthinkable, or maybe the difficult job now. The most difficult job has been done. So maybe the difficult jobs now is to take the like of Huddersfield and Newcastle apart, and hoping that something will give as Tottenham Hotspur. We just don't. But I know Tottenham, they know what's at stake now. I'm sure they will come into those 2 games with all seriousness that it deserves. So it looks finely poised to be a king contest for that 4th place.
Right, we are tracking all of that action. A quick look at what's happening also out there in the Spanish La Liga. A game going down just momentarily out there. It's Las Palmas and Getafe. It's halftime in that particular fixture. It's goalless. And much later at 7:45, it will be the big one. The Barcelona and Real Madrid will go down. That's El Clasico. The league is already decided. And, well, that's that little matter of a guard of honor for Barcelona, who are already league leaders. But Real Madrid are saying that, well, we are not going to, take part in all of that. Well, it's a big discussion and all of that. I really don't want to get into it. But a quick visit to Twitter here, and let's take some of your responses. A brief ceremony going out there at the Emirates Stadium where Arsene Wenger is being celebrated. Some big balloons are coming now on the pitch. Messi Hassan, it's saying all the players are now wearing a jersey with Arsene's name on it, and the number 22 for the number of years he served the club. Well, some players have left the pitch, but some have stayed for the ceremony to honor Arsene Wenger in his final home game at the Emirates Stadium. Lawal Omokalapo says, please don't make any excuse for Arsenal for not beating Atletico in the Europa. I agree with Bimba totally. They need to beat Atletico, but most of the players fail and disgrace us all. We are so disappointed in them. We want Champions League. Honorable Nelly Mike says, I'm listening live. This is awesome. More videos and short scenes we are seeing there from Idumota, the Go Fest parade. Thanks to Indomie, it's going down at Idumota. There's a viewing center tour of the Go Center stuff going out there. Joseph Alfred was also asking a question. Please take note, Chelsea finished third when they won the Europa League. All right. Chelsea finished third when they won the Europa League. Wants to Anthony says, though Arsenal failed to win the Europa League this season, but I strongly believe with a good manager and £200 million on the table, Arsenal will. There seems to be a word missing here. Will what? The Europa League next season? Maybe win, I'm guessing. Shola Ajayi says, my product, my brand, Indomie, well, it's repping Indomie and all that they are doing in that view center tour out there at Tidumota. Nice one. Keep the tweets coming and we will take them and also take some of your calls as well. Team Lastborn here says, that's 0 points for Liverpool away at the top 5. Since it's not Mourinho, it's okay. Don't think I really understand what you're saying there, but I guess I just throwing stones. Liverpool have lost. Quick look at the table and what this 90 minutes we've seen at the Stamford Bridge. What does it mean, Solly, after 90 minutes right now? Liverpool are third and Chelsea are fifth.
Yep. It simply, as we said earlier, Bimbo, I mean, the job has been done. It means one thing for Chelsea. They just keep hoping for the worst to happen to Tottenham Hotspur. Because I know somewhere it's supposed to be hoping that Liverpool was going to do the job for them, especially yesterday after losing unexpectedly, because it was all against all expectations that Tottenham Hotspur were going to do, and that's been the problem with them this season. You know, they've been at some point they will show some shades of consistency, and some other point they also give you that blemishes of inconsistency, and that's what we saw against West Bromwich Albion. And going forward, their next 2 games, which will be happening at Wembley, you never can tell. I mean, this is Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, when you expect them to blow hot, they just decide to blow cold. And I won't be surprised if between those 2 games, where I think they might crack is that game against Newcastle. Something tells me that something could happen there. I feel you have that feeling that Tottenham might break against Newcastle, and that's where Chelsea will wait to capitalize. But as it stands now, it is still advantage Tottenham Hotspur. Don't take anything away from them. It's still very much in their hands, to such extent of just getting the full points against Newcastle, and also getting the full points against Leicester City. Whatever Chelsea achieve against all those cities and Newcastle will amount to nothing if Tottenham has done their own part. For Liverpool, well, as we said, they are playing at home against Brighton next weekend in the last game. All they just need to do is just get a decent result in terms of getting maybe not losing or even getting the 3 points against Brighton will do for them. So I don't think there is any trouble at all talking about Liverpool. I think their concentration now should be on that final match against Real Madrid.
Well, just to quickly answer the question from somebody on Twitter who said that Chelsea finished third the season they won the Europa League. They didn't start the Europa League that season. They crashed. Yeah, they crashed from the Champions League to the Europa League, which is a different scenario totally. Yes, they finished third that year, but they didn't start from the group phase. They lost out in the Champions League to the Europa League, which is different. But they are starting the Europa League from group phase, which is a bit more difficult than the Champions League. So I hope that has been corrected. But going to YouTube and seeing some of the comments that we have coming in. We have Abdullahi Adeyinka, who was calling for the introduction of Willian, but it doesn't matter. Chelsea are winning eventually by 1-0. He also went on to say that shout out Bolani or Stabi, Solio and Bimbo, and he says, I cite you all. We see you too, man. Honorable Nelly Mike says, I'm listening live for the first time, Noni. Thank you, Noni. Appreciate your support. And he's asking about what United play. United lost to Brighton on Friday night by 1-0. Pascal Gross scoring the only goal, and is saying hi to Manchester United after that massive win to ensure that Brighton will play again in the Premier League next season. So thank you for all the messages. We'll be taking more calls for sure.
And we eat more of Indomie.
Well, there's a presentation ceremony going out there now at the Emirates. The backroom staff who will be leaving with Arsene Wenger are being honored, and they include Pierre Mertesacker, who will now be coaching the youth team, the under-18 team. Well, he's being also appreciated by the fans. He'll be leaving the club as a player. So they are all being given some token or the other
Pierre
right now. Pierre Mertesacker and all of that. Let's take a couple more of your calls here as well. We keep informing you and telling you about Go Fest. It's still going down at Tudumota. Maybe you can get to the viewing center and get your own set of Indomie and get into the munching frenzy that is going on out there. Let's take these calls. Hello, good evening. Hello, anybody there? I think maybe we need to avoid this first line. Hello? Hello? We can hear you in the background. Are you ready to talk to us?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Femi and Dan.
Yes, sir.
This is Mr. Julius calling from Tulare.
All right, Mr. Julius, talk to us.
Yes. I wish you all well. You are doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Yeah. Liverpool draw before playing Roma. Is it true?
They played a 2-2 draw against West Brom before they played against Roma.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second leg, they draw their game again before playing Roma again.
Yeah.
What are you driving at?
What I'm driving at is that now they have lost to KC. So people that are claiming that they are going to win the European League.
It's still a long way to go, bro.
They are going to lose the Champions League.
Okay. That's a prediction.
Yes.
That's a different ball.
All right, thank you very much. Hello? Please avoid that first line. Hello, good evening. Anybody there? Right, they're not. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, this Friday from Ikwelere.
Hey, Friday. Liverpool, it don't happen, no.
Yeah, it don't happen, my brother. But yeah, let me tell you, my brother. Chelsea will go down the same way West Brom. West Brom will be winning all their matches, and yeah, they will get relegated. And Chelsea will still win all their matches and finish outside the top four. So I just pity my friend Marco. It's a pity that. But for us now, anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, Arsenal did not play Europa last week.
What?
And yeah, they finished outside the top four.
Yeah.
Okay. Just look at today's match. They went to Spain on Thursday. They lost to Atletico.
Yeah.
And today they defeated their opponent 5-2.
Yeah.
So I don't think Europa is their problem. The problem is Wenger and his mentality. Because at the time, he was saying that top four is a trophy. So that is just the problem of Arsenal. It's not Europa.
Right,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Friday. Hello.
Yes, Timbo and Bola, I greet you.
We greet you back, sir.
Yes, sir. Babari.
I really enjoyed your argument and your counter argument on Arsene Wenger. My brothers, I don't know. As it is now, even if Chelsea wins all that, no wonder Antonio Conte said today's match was going to be a do or die. I thank God he won the match. So,
they did and they didn't die.
Oh. Because I asked earlier in the day from Emmanuel. Now, the hype on is going to be a do or die fair match. Then Jurgen Klopp was also saying this will be his greatest match ever, although he lost. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: as it is now, these three other teams, if they keep winning their matches, what will be the fate of Chelsea? Because I had predicted earlier in the season that Antonio Conte will not make top four just because of the way he treated Diego Costa. So,
wow.
I'm telling you, the law of retributive justice will happen to the way he treated Diego Costa. I did not like it. And look at it now, Diego Costa is even appearing in the Europa Cup final, whereas Antonio Conte will not make the top four. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so very much. And, I think this is where we have to end things here It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been interesting. We've loved every bit of it doing this with you guys. And well, all the guys also out there at Idumota enjoying their lives and eating Indomie as they go about it. Been fantastic. Well, I can see Pat Rice is also getting a trophy, and I'm wondering, he left the club. He left the coaching position.
Kanu Wankwo
is also there.
So Campbell, Martin Keown, Robert Pires.
Fantastic scenes at the Emirates.
All the guys who made it happen for Wenger in 2004.
Interestingly, but I was with Kanu on Tuesday during the week or somewhere around there.
So he's left you in Nigeria to go to England.
And I asked him this question whether he was going to be there. Yes, he said yes, he was going to be there. So I'm not surprised that he's there right now.
I mean, it's nice to see all the players
and quickly,
who made it
let's
happen.
really do some honorable mention here. But for those guys who are getting awards, Vic Akas is getting awards at the long-serving Kitman and the founder of the Arsenal ladies team, Alex Scott, Arsenal and England women's fullback, who is hanging up her boots at the end of this season. Pam Mateseka, immensely popular club captain, who is retiring to take up a role with the academy, as you said right there. So Arsene Wenger is still waiting to get his own. And
I think it's going to be presented to him by Pat Rice.
His former deputy,
who stood solidly by him,
and Wenger comes out finally.
There's a lot.
For the last time.
Yeah, there's a lot.
For the final time.
that you can play, or you can attach.
Emotional. Final buys. Arsene Wenger, don't try for Arsenal. Don't try.
He's tried. He's had his time.
Don't try.
He has been
in the midst of everything. He remains a legend.
And the fans have stayed back. Normally, the stadium would have been empty before full time, but they've stayed back because they know this is the final time we'll be seeing this man.
And surprisingly, people, do you know what people? Some of them have been described as hypocrites.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. The stadium is still full. They didn't go.
You know why? There. Because these are the same fans. Some of them are saying, "I said you don't go. We were going to miss it." They are the same people who are saying, "I said you leave."
The thing is that people need to understand that there's nothing hypocritical about it. They love the man. You love somebody so much
that you want him to leave.
No. That when his time is up and he can see it, you can see it. So it's like they're telling him, "Guy, save your legacy and leave now." It's because we love you that we are telling.
At the end of last
it's because we love you that we are actually telling you to do this. It's not out of hate. People should not get it wrong. They love him so much. They see his legacy crumbling right before him. It's like all these African despots who just stay there. You know, some of them start so well. The Gaddafis of this world, they start so well, and then they just don't know when to quit. You don't know when to quit. Ferguson, exactly, he knew just when to quit, and he played it out, and you are the owners of your own destiny and your fortune. He got a 29-year-old Van Persie at a premium price because he knew what he wanted. He wanted to live on that high. The people playing around Van Persie and the other players in the team, it wasn't like they were so fantastic, but Ferguson being who he is, and then he got that one player, and then he made it work. He got the league, and then the man ran away. You run away when the ovation is loudest. Everybody, personally, I thought Wenger was going to leave after winning that FA Cup last season. But, I mean, in his stubbornness, he stayed.
I like what I'm seeing on TV.
He stayed.
I like what I'm seeing on TV. All the Arsenal fans in the stadium have decided to wear the red jersey, Messi, Arsene. And if you're not wearing that red jersey, you are wearing the Arsenal home kit, which makes the stadium red. That's a traditional color of Arsenal. I'm just imagining what it will feel like at Holloway Road and Arsenal station, train station, when they all leave at the same time. Man, it's going to be chaotic.
And the Arsenal
it's going to be chaotic because everyone will be leaving at the same time. But you know how they do their thing. Security is guaranteed, and it's going to be a smooth passage eventually. But Arsene Wenger is giving his final speech. We'll get a transcript of what he's saying eventually. But it's good to see the fans stay back to honor and respect this man. Yeah, he didn't have it good towards the end of his spell at Arsenal, but they will never forget what he brought to England. Competition in a time when Manchester United were dominating. He won 3 Premier League titles, 7 FA Cups. Maybe he should have retired at the end of last season with the FA Cup. It didn't happen. But either way, he will still look back at his 22 years on Arsenal and say it wasn't so bad. And at some point, Arsenal would have to keep consulting and speaking to him. He said he doesn't know what he does next, but I have a feeling that Wenger will continue to be a football manager and maybe a team in France. Many are already tipping PSG as the next destination, which would be perfect.
Yeah.
For Arsene Wenger. He's French speaking, he's going back home, and maybe just stay in touch with the Arsenal side. But what I would love to see in the future from here is Arsene Wenger continuing to manage and lead a team out against Arsenal. It will be nice to see. Ferguson never had that chance because he retired and just left football. It will be interesting to see when, for example, Wenger manages PSG and they get to play against Arsenal in the Champions League. I will have to see the emotions in that one. But good day for Arsene Wenger, emotional, and he's leaving finally. The players are paying their last respect, and I like the fact that the fans have also done the same. Merci Arsene. What a man.
I think it deserves it deserves whatever accolades, whatever tribute it gets today. That's what Arsene Wenger he's done his 22 years. As I said, he's checkered. You look back on his first game against Blackburn then in October 1996, when you had the likes of Patrick Vieira. I mean, being the only foreign player in that team at that point, and up until now. So you just look back and see, yes, it's been a good one. And to cap it all, I like the fact that Arsene Wenger is being presented people with the special trophy that the club was given for that invisible zone in 2004. To keep it's going to be
went a whole season without losing a game.
It's so good to see that it's going to be presented with that trophy. So I like that. I like that decision by the Arsenal board to give him that one. So it's going to be a personal moment of his time at the club. I like this. I'm sure wherever Arsene Wenger goes to, definitely the memory of Arsenal, the players, the fans, and everything that he worked for when he was in this club will linger on for the day until it ceases to exist on the planet Earth.
All right, well, fantastic one even from us at the studios. We congratulate him. He's had a fantastic time. He's having personal handshakes with all of the players that they've come to converge around about him. Huge boots to fill for whoever will be coming on as the new manager of Arsenal Football Club. And well, if the stories are anything to go by, £200 million to spend. And well, the opportunities to even increase that amount when you get sell some players as well, because I know there will be some movement out as well. So let's just say 200+ million pounds for whoever will be coming in. But then again, I mean, with today's market as competitive and cutthroat as it is, it might maybe not just be enough. But then again, well, the future looks bright. Maybe, but I just don't know. Let me just hang it here before I say something, that is totally off point and off tangent.
Just before we go, I mean, quick line, just a quick line from Arsene Wenger. He said, "I will always be an Arsenal fan. It is what unites us in every cell of our body. Those dreams and worries," he says. I mean, good one. That's just the punchline from Arsene Wenger.
Fantastic.
I mean, beautiful, fantastic.
All right, well, that's our time here. The guys are out on the road doing the Go Fest viewing center things. Maybe when they get back, they'll be able to tell us why they couldn't get across with us, and then we'll pardon them. It's still Football Frenzy continuing after this big game still coming much later. It's the El Clasico. Well, there will be no shifting in terms of points on the table, but it's still a big game indeed. And I know the Real Madrid that I know will be playing for pride, even though they're not going anywhere on the table. So it's a must-watch encounter, and we hope that you'll make it a data with us as we go along that one. So stay with us. The show continues right after this, even though we might be taking our leave from the studio.